once he does the video.
Hey, Steven, this is Paul. Kind of. I know you've been talking with.
Engine box.
Let me get around to where the lighting's better. I know we've been running your engine this morning and getting it ready to go test in the lake. Anyway, I know you've been talking with our mechanic, Jason, and so what I want to do is just, I'm in my own light. Anyway, what I wanted to do was go over the situation. Of course, we have this plate right here was loose, and well, not even loose. It was just completely detached. We also had the shaft packing was apparently not adjusted, and we also found today that you see the hole in this set screw that has the lock wire. You didn't have a hole in your set screw, no lock wire, so that could back off and give you a problem eventually. So those are what we started off to have to fix. So the problems that we encountered that were not part of the original scope is that these exhaust manifolds had to be removed. Exhaust elbows had to be removed from the manifolds, not the manifolds themselves. They stayed on, but we had to remove these exhaust elbows. In order to raise the back of the engine up, in order to, because we found right away, remember we found that the coupling on the back of the engine was, which is the red part right in front of this, where'd my finger go? In front of this prop shaft coupling. That coupling in the transmission had a bent face. So there was no way that this was ever going to line up, because you're 20 thousandths out to begin with, and you need to be no more than 2 thousandths out. So with the face being bent, in other words at an angle and not perpendicular to the shaft, then we were automatically, no way that anybody could have lined it up. So we changed that out. In order to change that out, we had to raise the engine. In order to raise the engine, we had to remove the exhaust elbows. So, and of course, that good deed didn't go unpunished. Over on the other side, the exhaust elbow on the other side, we found that the threads were, actually one of the studs was broken off, as it turns out. We thought the threads were stripped in this wafer right here, but it turns out, which is an adapter plate, but it turns out, no, the threads weren't stripped. The stud goes all the way through into the exhaust manifold. So, and the stud was broken off in the exhaust manifold. So to get to that, we had to take this wafer off. This held on with 3 Allen head bolts, and 2 of them came out, and 1 of them we had to drill the head off of. So then we got the wafer off. Then we had to extract that the studs, extract what was left over, that bolt we drilled the head off of. And then we could get into drilling out and retapping for the studs. So, what was a really simple fix initially, we found this problem, and then when we raised the engine up, we found this problem over here. It's all back together now, and it's we're ready to go to the lake and test it, and so we'll be adjusting the packing gland as well, and then we'll paint the bottom. I'll let you look at the invoice before we decide whether or not we're going to go ahead and paint the bottom. That guy there would be just as happy not to paint the bottom. So anyway, let's see what else. Oh yeah, we got this screw repaired on the front. Got it doweled and repaired, and we've got this guy working fixed right here, and Zach right here did both of those jobs, and we have the amp meter working. So it was all wired wrong behind the dash. So basically everything was operable, but it has to go through the amp meter for the amp meter to measure the current flow one direction or the other. It has to go through the amp meter, and basically the loads weren't coming through the amp meter. They were coming around the amp meter. So we got all that straightened out as well. And anyway, we I just wanted to give you a heads up. I'm going to send you the invoice. You might go, oh shit, I don't want to paint the bottom right now. If you do want to paint the bottom, that's fine too. But anyhow, I'll send that straight away. Thank you.